Ain't that just the way things go? My case ended like too many, with a sad-looking remnant of an ice cream sandwich dealt a bad hand. Melty, squished, just too sweet. If I'd have known this case was gonna go this way, I'd have never taken it, but here we are. Summer rolls around and we all need to beat the heat somehow. But when the chief told me there was a new case and I needed to get out my mixer and whip 4 cups of heavy cream and a splash of vanilla together to stiff peaks, I knew it was trouble. Chief told me the case was making ice cream sandwiches, but without using an ice cream maker? Crazy talk. You think a cop in this town's gonna be caught dead without an ice cream maker? Then Chief handed me those cans of sweetened condensed milk and I knew what I was supposed to do. I just didn't want to. I started out how I always do. Stirring up a little trouble, mixing some cocoa powder to try and damp out the intense sweetness. Like that would do any good. That's when the case started picking up. I divided that whipped cream into 2 separate containers and slowly streamed in the sweetened condensed milk, folding gently as I went, like the good cop I was, till it was all incorporated. Easy enough, like I'd done a million times, right? Then the chief had a bit of a curveball for me. Lay 'em out in the bacon sheets, nice and thin. Cover 'em and get 'em in that freezer for 8 hours to overnight. You know what to do, Jimmy. Hate it when the chief calls me Jimmy. My name is Sprinkles, and Chief knows it. Guess it's an East Coast dialect thing, I don't know. But Chief was right. That mixer wasn't done, and neither was this case. Just when I thought I was in over my head enough, I needed to make 3 different kinds of cookies. Only one way to tackle that job. I got in touch with my informant, Cookie Base. See, Cookie's real flexible. One base batter can make practically any kind of dough you want in the end. That's what I needed. When I got to Cookie's place, I had to beat 4 sticks of butter with 2 cups of white sugar and 2 cups of brown sugar. Things get dangerous out by Cookies, so I played it safe with a large splash of vanilla and 4 eggs. Once that was looking alright, any good cop, heck, any bad cop too, will tell you, a tablespoon each of baking powder and baking soda is always gonna get a rise out of old Cookie. Sometimes we need a little bit of tough love. But this is when I made my first big mistake in this case. See, I should have done the flour by weight. But like a fool, I thought, 5 cups will be enough. I might as well have been asking for Cookie to run, and run he did. When I finally tracked him down and added the extra flour, I'd lost any trace of clues I had in my case. I had to get back to the basics. I divided the base into 3 containers. One just got the standard treatment, chocolate chips and stir, into the fridge for 4 hours to overnight. Then I ended up getting myself in a little bit of a sticky situation with about a half cup of peanut butter. The butter seemed to get along with Cookie real nice though, so just to be safe, I added a little bit of flour just to keep things smooth, and I let them mingle in the fridge for 4 hours to overnight. They'll do my work for me. Last, I introduced about 1/4 cup of Dutch cocoa powder to the equation, and a splash of milk just to make sure things didn't get too dry out there. My hindsight ain't what it used to be, but I probably didn't need the milk. This wasn't too dry. After all these doughs had the chance to chill out and think a little bit about what they wanted to tell me, I knew it was time to turn up the heat a little bit. I needed to make progress on this case. I shaped them, topped them with a little bit of Flakey finishing salt, then it was 375 for 12 to 14 minutes. They came out a little worse for wear, so after a little more shaping, it was time for them to cool off in the freezer for 4 to 6 hours. I thought that would be it. Cookies came out nice and even. Ice cream felt solid enough, but things went south the way they so often do in this business. Tiny bit of unset vanilla ice cream, and it's a catastrophe. See, ice cream didn't set fully, and some of the cookies, they were just a little too stiff to play right in the sandwich the way they should have. So that brings us back here. Did I solve this case? No. The cookies, they were alright, but this ice cream recipe just isn't consistent enough for me. Maybe I ought to just use an ice cream maker. Now I'll save that for another episode.
Actually, the peanut butter chocolate ones did come out alright. I think because the cocoa powder kind of helped it be a little bit stiffer and a lot less sweet. Not a total failure after all. Anyway, this was a dumb one, but if I struck your fancies, you should give it a like, maybe even a subscribe. It's for the kids after all. I genuinely don't like this ice cream recipe, so I might very well go buy an ice cream maker right now.